Okay, so to set the scene, think back to years ago when you were a kid. You're at the store with your parent and you see something out of the corner of your eye. Why, it's the coolest toy you've ever seen. You realize you want it so badly and you beg your parent to buy it. They do the usual, you already have so many toys, you don't need this one. And with that, you stand there. Perhaps you pat on the car ride home, but you never got the toy. You may even have dreamed about it for the next few days, but it never came to pass. So, I'm sure all of us have had that experience, or an experience like that as a child. One where we wanted something really badly and yet our parent did not let it be so. It's a feeling we experience even into adulthood in some regard. One thing about growing into an adult, however, is that with adulthood comes a disposable income. And with a disposable income comes the ability to buy things that you wanted as a kid but couldn't afford. So, what do? Oftentimes, the gap in years between when you saw that product and when you have a disposable income can be quite large. Oftentimes, even over a decade. So, with the passing of time, the question is, can I afford it? Or can I even find it? You most likely can afford it, but not guaranteed. So, there are multiple ways to find something nostalgic like an old toy to buy, but it all depends on what sounds most ideal to you. The first option would be to peruse garage sales during the summer months in hopes of stumbling upon that toy that you dream of. And the biggest upside to this method is that if you find it, you usually manage to pay almost nothing for that toy. Maybe $5, maybe $1, maybe even a quarter. So you save a ton of money by buying it this way. All this sounds pretty good, yeah? Well, there's two major caveats to the garage sale method. Number one, the condition. Because garage sale items are used, the condition is a gamble. Because it's a toy, there's actually a decent chance that it's well loved and all worn out or maybe even damaged. Number two, potentially even a bigger issue than the condition is simply finding it. The problem with relying on garage sales is that you could go to hundreds of them a year for 10 years straight, and you could still never find what you're looking for. Relying on garage sales is far too reliant on someone nearby you actually not only owning one, but wanting to sell it for cheap at a garage sale. And as such, you're most likely wasting your time. Or maybe even something more annoying is that someone did sell it nearby you, but someone else bought it before you got to it. So you missed your chance. Similar to garage selling would be the local pawn shops. It's always possible that at some point they get one sold to them. However, just like garage selling, that quality is a mixed bag. And the chances are quite high that they won't even have what you're looking for, so it's probably not even worth the effort. You could go check, but you most likely won't get it. But the real second option, and frankly the most plausible one, is that you could go online and buy it. But this may not be as simple as you think. So, unlike with garage selling, where you can't find it, you're most likely going to find what you want online. It's almost guaranteed. But where do you look? Amazon is probably everyone's first thought to go shopping in general, but in terms of older products, they're actually not as good. I've bought old stuff from them before, but typically it's more likely that you won't find it. So your best option is to go to eBay, the home of the pre-owned product. And with that you might think, "Oh shoot, I'm done. That's it. I don't need to look anymore." Well, there's one condition here. Sure, you can find it, but it'll most likely be used, and it might even be at an absurd price like $180 plus, and be in terrible condition for that matter. And you are obviously not willing to pay triple digits for this beat up toy that you're not even sure if it was any good when it was new, because that's kind of what you want to find out. So maybe the opposite situation occurs. Maybe you do find new in-box ones on eBay, but maybe they're all being listed for $500 or more, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not paying that. I'm not getting that. It's too much money. So that's always possible. You may end up just not being able to get it at all. And garage sales would be your only method. The other option, though, the more likely one, is that the prices aren't actually that steep. Let's say that the item you wanted was originally $50 new in box, and it's going for $80 new in box on eBay. That's actually not that bad. It's only $30 more, and it's been over a decade. That's not bad at all. And maybe there's used listings on top of the new in-box listings, and the used ones are $50, so it's the same price as the original retail price. So now you're at the option of, do I want the full experience and pay $30 more for the box? Or am I okay with not getting the box, still getting the product, and I pay the original retail price? Either way, you're kind of getting part of the experience. But there's one major risk to eBay, is that auctions are a thing. You might find what you want for an auction. It might even be at a fraction of the price, like $17 versus $50. So you could save a lot. But through bidding wars, it might even go up to the point where it's beyond the price of everything else. You could end up not getting it at all because of that. Or you might get lucky and you might be able to get it for 17. But then there's always those people that are cheeky and wait till the last second. They bid above you within the last 5 seconds of the auction so that way they can win it, and they're like, ha, I got it guaranteed. You could do that too, but at the same time, if they're also doing it, you got to outbid their bid, and you don't really know what their bid is because it's the very last second bid. Your best bet would be to bid extra high, but at the same time, you don't want to pay more than you want to pay. So that's a risky thing in and of itself. I recommend only bidding maybe $30 in this case, because then there's a good chance you'll still win it. That's assuming it's still at $17 within the last minute of the bidding. There's no guarantee, but it's most likely. And most people aren't super crazy bidders, so you most likely won't have to pay too much to win it. So yeah, it's up to you. Do you want to spend potentially years looking for something cheap and only maybe finding it? Or are you just willing to fork over 10 times the amount just so you can get it now and be more in control of the condition at that? Either option works, and it's up to you. I prefer buying it offline these days because it's more consistent. But anyways, I hope that passing on some of my knowledge has helped you, and I hope that you go hunting for some nostalgia in the near future. Have a great day, and hunt wisely.